Yo, what's going on, everybody, man? It's your boy Rick, man. I'm back real quick, man. And I'm gonna go ahead and title this video. I know that we're late. Like, I know that we're late. I've been busy. Cuz I've been busy. We wasn't able to get to it, but believe me, I seen the news. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the two biggest trades that happened in the NBA. I'm gonna save the big one for last. For y'all that didn't know, I am a Mavericks fan. As far as basketball wise, so that was a heartbreaker, and y'all also know I'm also a big LeBron fan at that. So it's a lot to get there. It's a lot to get to whenever I get there. But I want to talk first about De'Aaron Fox. So shout out to De'Aaron Fox. I heard that he wanted to go to the Spurs. He got traded to the Spurs. I think him and Victor together is going to be a great combo. So I'll just run through the trade details because this is very showing how this trade worked and then how the next trade I'm gonna talk about worked. So in this trade right here, the Spurs just got De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. De'Aaron Fox is the big player in this trade, so it makes sense that the Spurs don't really get any picks or anything to go with it because De'Aaron Fox is the big fish in this trade. Even though I'm super high on Zach LaVine, the Kings did exactly what they want to do. They didn't really get better. Zach LaVine for De'Aaron Fox is not really that's more of a lateral move. They're about the same caliber of player. I would take De'Aaron over Zach LaVine just because of um how he impacts the game at the point guard spot. De'Aaron does, but Zach LaVine is having a great season. I think he's having season highs in like field goal percentage, free throw percentage, all of that. And 3 point percentage. I think he's shooting like over 40% right now at the moment. That probably won't last forever, but like being at 40 is really good though. So the Kings get 3 first round picks. 3 second round picks. Now, see, when you trade your star player, this is what you're supposed to get in return because you're supposed to get, hey, I got a player first and foremost who I can still who fans will still want to come see, right? Because Zach LaVine is already, he's a bouncy guy. He already bouncy. He can dunk a lot and all that. But then he's also just his overall ability to score and keep us competitive in games while we also got picks to build around as we go into the future. For like the rest of the starting lineup, to fill in those spots. And that's how you're supposed to kind of do a trade. So I think the Spurs, based on De'Aaron Fox's age, with Victor Wembanyama and all that, the Spurs are already in a build around now mode. And based on the youth that they have as well, I think they weren't so worried about the picks, which makes perfect sense to me. And then you look at the Bulls, right? So the Bulls get Zach Collins, Trey Jones, Kevin Huerter. They're on 2025 pick. So they got their pick back, right? And it's 2025 because that makes sense because the Bulls trading Zach LaVine, they're trying to get a star right now. So to be able to draft in 2025, right, and it's their own pick. They trade Zach LaVine. They expect to get worse. They expect to be in the lottery, and then you try to draft correctly and get the right person. Kevin Huerter, I like him, a good shooter, guy. I like Zach Collins too. He's a good piece. And then let's see if you can just get a star player, well, like a future star in the draft, and then that makes sense. So the Bulls didn't get as much back as you would expect for getting off of Zach LaVine. You would think they would have probably got some more picks in this, especially being the fact that the Kings got 6 picks in the trade. But that's normally how three team trades work. One team normally gets most of the picks. Another team normally gets, the player they want, and then the third team just kind of is just trying to throw some stuff in there to move some stuff around so that they just don't have the same team. So I like it for the Spurs. I like it for the Kings with all the picks. Let's see if you can land on one of those picks in the next 5 to 6 years. The 2031 pick is the one that's probably just going to be used for trade value. But 2025, 2027, those picks can actually affect the team while a player like Zach LaVine is still there. So you can actually add picks to go around him. And if someone does come available, you can trade for him. But the Kings don't ever seem to trade for him. They always seem to make a team that get close. Like even back when they had like Chris Webber them, they make a team that get close and then they never really finish through for whatever reason. I don't know what the Kings, I don't know how they end up doing that all the time. But yeah, so trade, not a bad trade. I'm happy for De'Aaron, man. He wanted to get out of there, so he got out of there, and he went to a great organization with the Spurs, right? So now let me get to what everybody is here for, right? So Luka gets traded to the Lakers, right? And the trade happens late at night, and so I'm laying down on my couch, and my homeboy called me like, "Hey, bro, your team just did something wild." And I'm like, what they did now? I'm thinking something. I think when you say something wild, I'm thinking something like, I don't know, man. I don't know, like Klay Thompson. Let's get rid of Klay. I'm like, okay, something like that. That's a little wild being that we just signed him. But he was like, nah, they traded Luke. I'm like, man, hold on. So I'm looking at all the reports, and I'm like, this is the most mind-blowing thing I've ever seen in my life. And so let me tell you the trade details first. So it's a 3-team trade, right? The Jazz get Jalen Hood-Schifino, and the Lakers and Mavericks second-round picks. So the Jazz was just trying to get off of contracts, right? Fair enough, right? So they was just like, hey, that's all we're trying to do, right? So Maxi Kleber, Doncic, and Markieff Morris, they go to the Lakers, and then the Mavericks get Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and the Lakers 2029 first-round pick. Now, there's so many problems with this trade, but this is where I'm going to start off at, right? So, first initial problem is age. Luka's 25. He's already a superstar in every capacity of the word. He took a team to the Western Conference Finals, took the team to the finals last year. Boston was just way better than us. Fair enough, but he did that, right? So Kyrie is 31, about to turn 32, or 30. He's 32, about to turn 33. Anthony Davis is 31, about to turn 32, right? So now that's your new 2-star players, and then you add Klay, who's 36, right? Which just that's going to kind of be, they're all going to be in the starting lineup, right? I mean, we still got young players like Derek Lively and stuff, but the Nick Marshalls of the world, but just for the base of the trade. I think Luka, first of all, I think Luka is better than everybody on the Mavericks, and I think Luka is one of the top 5 players in the NBA. So when you make that trade, he's saying, oh, well, Luka is out of shape. I've seen crazy reports about his wife liking, I don't even know if some of those things were real, seeing stuff about like the family's not getting along. I know Luka was saying something about they were trading every player that he was friends with, him being from a different country, that kind of bothered him. And then it was like, he's like, yeah, well, I don't want to pay him all this money. And it's like, dude, why not? He's worth the money. Like it doesn't matter who's around him. You're going to go to the playoffs because he's worth the money. All you got to do is get one other superstar player around him, and you might get lucky in a draft one year and get one or two players who are just better players than what you expect, and that's all you need to get. You're back in the finals. Like once you're at the finals, it's a 7-game series. It's anybody's game. But I digress. So Anthony Davis is a great defensive player, right? He's a star. He's probably a top 10 player in the league. He might be around 10, right? So you're not getting like a chump, right? But the capacity that Luka controls the game playing point guard, and people say he holds the ball a lot. He does. I don't care. Like it gets to a point when I be watching basketball and I be telling people, bro, I don't care. He's like, well, they say Luka might be out of shape. I don't care. He's averaging 30 points out of shape. So I don't care. I don't care if he was 400 pounds. If he going to average 30, 10 and 9, he could be 800 pounds for all I care. It don't matter. It don't matter. Like, that's what my mind is going on. Is like, oh, well, it might get worse. Man, Luka loves playing basketball. Like, even if it's a situation like Shaq where he played himself into shape, they're like, the Lakers like, yeah, watch this. We just gonna trade Shaq. And Shaq won the NBA championship with the Heat in another year. Like, you have to. There's a point in time in basketball where X's and O's go out the window, right? And it's just players. And Luka has the capacity to control a game like pace, speed, scoring, assists, like rebounding, just controlling how the game is going, right? Very similar to LeBron. And that brings me to the Luka and LeBron thing. This is another thing I'm going to say. I don't think people are like, well, they play too similar. I think it's work. It's like, think about it like this, man. When you go to the park, right? Like, you go to the park and you go in the hoop, right? You don't get to the park and say, you got to play 5-on-5. You get to the park, you putting on your shoes. They're like, hey, man, who got next? I got next. You don't say, oh, I'm going to get that dude because that dude probably plays center and I'm a guard. And then this dude, he shoots well. He's an off-ball guy. So I'm going to get him. You don't do that when you get to the park. You get to the park and say, all right, we come out here and hoop. He nice, he legit, he raw. That I got them for. That's what you do. Because you know why? You're going to figure it out. If you have the better players, you're going to figure it out on the court. Right? You might normally play guard, but you like, hey, man, go ahead do your thing, bro. And then you feed me when you feed me. Then I get off when I get off. Come on, man. Nobody is worried about all that. That's why the Lakers are saying we're not worried about that. Basketball is way too positionless now for them to be worried about that. I think the Lakers are going to be overall in a better spot than the Mavericks. I got to see it work for the Mavericks because now the Mavericks are in a spot where they're playing such an X and O style of basketball that it has to like work that way. And that just worries me. But I think this will go down as one of the worst trades in history initiated by the Mavericks because star players are stars and they're stars for a reason and there's really no way around it. And that's kind of how I just see the situation is like, there's really no way around it. Stars are stars, bro. And Luke is a star and he's only 25. And now everything you said about him, oh, he's unmotivated. We give him the money, he'll do this. Well, now he can't get the money. He can't get the max contract no more because he can get the max. He can't get a super max no more. So now he really everything you said that would he unmotivated. He this and that. Now he motivated all over again. Now you done pissed him off. Now you done woke up a sleeping giant. That's all I gotta say to this trade is ain't no way. Man, look, that's gonna be the phrase for the rest of Black History Month is ain't no way. I'm gonna just be for the rest of this month, I'm gonna just be like, ain't no way. It just don't make sense. But that's all I gotta say, man. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, man. Everybody out there, y'all stay up, man. Y'all keep the grind going and take it easy. Peace.